And we're live. Roll up, gather. Come join everybody. Come and join your friendly neighborhood or your man. Come join me. The Python dance about to take place again. Your friendly neighborhood or your laughing man. One man went to mow the eagle has landed. One man.
Do I pop? Oh, you do I pop? O Mary, Wonizu, Woniroya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapuri Mary Nandi, win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nandi, win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Unapuri Mary Nande bu onye du aimo o meri wonizu ndiro ya abakare mamanda ora una buri meri nande win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Una buri meri nande win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Una buri meri nande win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Una buri meri nande win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Una buri meri nande win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's a three. Una buri meri nande.
So, Onande win the war, or does he? To matters we go, and matters are Nandi, and others. So, first, we were going to start from. First, we go to Nandi. Still, actually, his wife comes out to speak to the space. Nnamdi Kanu's wife speaks on IPOB leader being tortured, family's pain since his arrest. So the human aspect of that whole saga, the wife speaks. A petroleum industry bill would permit only Dangote Refinery, NNPC, to import fuel if passed into law. So essentially, a bill to make a Dangote the richest man in history, richer than Mansa Musa even. So still on that northern bench, um, all 44 candidates on Nigerian Navy supplementary list under Buhari's government are northerners. So essentially, the northernification of the entirety of the Nigerian security apparatus. Ohaneze claps back at Yaya Bello. You were still in school when North South agreed on rotational presidents. So, to all of that and more, I am here. Your presence required. One man went to Mo. Click on the hyperlink if you want to come join me live on screen. Introduce yourself as you do come in so we get to know each other. One man went to Mo. The eagle has landed.
Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone. Love with all your heart. Missing someone. Love with heart. How much you missing? And you.
So one man went to mow the eagle has landed. Straight into it we go, and we go to the Chidinma OJUKWU Ataga saga. Latest development there. Chidinma OJUKWU reveals another hidden secret about Super TV CEO USIFO Ataga. So still within that space, the suspected killer of the Super TV CEO USIFO Ataga, Chidinma OJUKWU, in a recent interview with crime fighters, described the deceased as someone who gets angry easily. The 21-year-old University of Lagos student disclosed that Ataga was having issues with his wife and was not happy in his marriage. She further stated that her lover was only in the marriage with her wife to cater to with his wife rather. So she further stated that her lover was only in the marriage with his wife to cater for his children. The prime suspect in the interview added that the deceased was always busy, keeps to himself, and likes to carry girls. She also accused the Super TV CEO of drinking, smoking, and using drugs a lot. Ojukwu also denied having 10 million naira in her account, revealing that she had about 400 to 500,000, which was money she made from selling a laptop which the deceased gave her. She further revealed that they rented a short-let apartment because USIFO said it wouldn't be fun staying in a hotel. So I have a clip of the video which I may or may not play you in the course of this narration. So that is to that space, that evergreen saga. Nnamdi Kanu's wife speaks on an IPOB leader being tortured, families pain. So the human angle to the Nnamdi Kanu narrative. So we go to that space. Nnamdi Kanu's wife speaks on IPOB leader being tortured, families pain since his arrest. So now let's now hear from Mrs. Kanu. The wife of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Uchechi Kanu. So the wife of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Uchechi Kanu, has lamented that none of the family members has been able to reach him since he got into the custody of the DSS. Uchechi added that Kanu is believed to be beaten and tortured by the security agencies both in Kenya and Nigeria, which gives them all great cause for worry. The IPOB leader's wife, who is currently in North London, stated this in an interview on Sunday, which she granted to a United Kingdom newspaper, the Sunday Times. Speaking for the first time since the arrest of Kanu, the wife, 40, lamented, "It is hard for me to speak. I am extremely devastated. He has been beaten and excuse me. Speaking for the first time since the arrest of Kanu, the wife, 40, lamented, "It is hard for me to speak. I am extremely devastated. He has been beaten and tortured, and I am scared for his life." She said she and the family had had no contact with him since his arrest. Uchechi said, "I was always worried about Nandi. When you are asking for freedom from dictatorship, you are a target. But when I saw what happened in Belarus and how no one did anything, I knew nowhere was safe. The Nigerian government carrying out this rendition is a crime. We are not even talking about independence," she said. We are just calling for a referendum exactly like Scotland did with the United Kingdom and the United Kingdom did with the European Union, but the Nigerian government wants to exterminate our whole family. It is a scandal and thing of shame that Britain is not acting to secure her own citizens. Also, a lawyer at Doughty Street Chambers in London, who is consulting for the Kanu family, warned that the United Kingdom risked becoming complicit in torture if he did not act in support of Kanu. "Extraordinary rendition is recognized as a form of torture," said Jonathan Cooper. "We need the United Kingdom government to take the lead by condemning the actions of Nigeria and Kenya and by insisting that if Kanu is to be returned to Nigeria, only independent courts can authorize his return. If the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, continues to say nothing, there is a risk that the United Kingdom will become complicit in torture." 2 weeks ago, Kanu appeared in court in Abuja, hooded and charged for inciting violence. The Nigerian authority claimed he was extradited to the country to continue his trial. So Nnamdi Kanu's wife speaks to British press to continue to mount the pressure. So exactly what she should be doing, because of course, whatever rescue that there can be for Kanu has to necessarily come from Britain. So they've hired a British lawyer and they are speaking to the British press, and that for me will be a course of action to pursue. So well done to Mrs. Kanu. So to the petroleum industry in Nigeria, petroleum industry bill would permit only Dangote refinery NNPC to import fuel if passed into law. So the move to make Aliko Dangote the richest man that has ever lived is now gathering fast pace. Richer than Mansa Musa ultimately is what the Fulanis are determined to confer on their son. If passed in its current form, the Senate version of the Petroleum Industry Bill will only permit two entities to import petroleum products into Nigeria: those who own active refining licenses and the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited. However, the law makes it impossible for even modular refineries like Walter Smith to import the product, as a clause in the concerned section provides that licenses be given based on the refining record of the permit holder. By the time the bill becomes law, the Dangote refinery, which has a 650,000 barrel per day refining capacity, will be in operation, making him the only license holder that will be able to import any substantial amount of petroleum. The law also provides for the continuation of the NNPC's direct sale purchase contract, which experts have questioned for being fraught with inconsistencies. Having provided for the introduction of a free market in Section 205A, the Senate version of the PIB goes ahead to contradict this stance in Section 317H. The first subsection says the authority shall apply the backward integration policy in the downstream petroleum sector to encourage investment in local refining. Backward integration primarily refers to a move by companies to source materials they import prior locally. Within the context of this bill, however, the Senate states what it considers as backward integration. To support this, license to import any product shortfalls shall be assigned only to companies with active local refining licenses. The law further goes ahead to rule out small players. Import volume to be allocated between participants based on their respective production in the preceding quarter. Expert field modular refinery license holders. So let's just pause for a moment to unpick that, because we're talking a lot of our technicalities and a lot of our legalese. So what this bill is proposing to do is to vest a lot of the allowances within the petroleum space to people who are invested locally. So you would say that's a well done, because of course it promotes that space within the country. But what they are now saying, which is the exclusivity for Dangote, essentially, what they are now saying is that they are going to be vesting opportunities based on your capacity and your production within the preceding quarter. So, Aliko Dangote, of course, with the largest oil refining capacity in the world. So, if they are going to be vesting opportunities, then that tells you that near as make no difference, all of the opportunities will be vested in Dangote's refinery in its company. So essentially, the license to import petroleum products into Nigeria will become the exclusive preserve of Dangote. So he gets almost near exclusivity in refining, and he gets almost near exclusivity in importing. So he essentially gets near exclusivity in the Nigerian oil sector. So essentially, the makings of our Dangote as the richest man that has ever lived. This is what you're seeing being fleshed out in small print and legalese. But where did we stop? Okay, sorry. Yeah. Actually, let me just pick it up from a random paragraph. Having provided for the introduction of a free market in Section 205A, the Senate version of the PIB goes ahead to contradict this stance in Section 317H. The first subsection says the authority shall apply the backward integration policy in the downstream petroleum sector to encourage investment in local refining. Backward integration primarily refers to a move by companies to source materials they imported prior locally. Within the context of this bill, however, the Senate states what it considers as backward integration. To support this, license to import any product shortfalls shall be assigned only to companies with active local refining licenses. The law further goes ahead to rule out small players. Import volume to be allocated between participants based on their respective production in the preceding quarter. So that is the Dangote clause right there in the petroleum industry bill, and that is where he corners the market. Experts feel modular refinery license holders are excluded from importing like the rest of the country with this clause. I believe this must have been as a result of a deal between Dangote and the NNPC, claims a source close to the development and consideration of the bill who spoke with correspondents. Players like Walter Smith, and that Walter Smith, by the way, don't conflate that with an Oyinbo man. That is some South guy that is operating under that banner of that company name. Players like Walter Smith, who are just doing about 5,000 liters of diesel, will get little or no quota if they have to import PMS based on their production in the previous quarter. An energy lawyer, Nwokonko, wondered who the senators had in mind when writing the clause. From an economic point of view, why should you limit the importation of petrol to only those who have active refining licenses? Who are you protecting? Is this the national economy or consumer? Is it the national economy or consumer welfare? This is just vested interest. It means they are going to subsidy. It means this is just vested interest. It means they are going to be subsidizing the high cost of production. If you have someone with a refinery whose cost is too high, the person could go to Ghana where it is cheaper and bring in the product, effectively leaving his plant moribund. Everybody should be allowed to import. However, the source, close to the workings of the Senate, asked the National Assembly to consider allowing the downstream regulatory authority, which will be created when the bill comes into law, to create impartial regulations to guide any future importation of petrol. I think the provision above will create a duopoly in a price deregulated environment, thereby destroying Nigerian downstream industry as we know it today. The law and the authorities should protect the market and the consumers rather than encouraging monopoly or duopoly by locking out competition. Despite its potential move to eliminate competition and create a duopoly, Section 317H of the Senate PIB version commits to ending the sale of dirty fuel in Nigeria. The fifth clause in the section says to safeguard the health of Nigerians, importation to safeguard the health of Nigerians, imported petroleum products shall conform to AFRI-5 specifications as per the ECOWAS Declaration of February 2020 on the adoption of the AFRI-fuel roadmap. So there you have it, essentially handing over the petroleum industry to Aliko Dangote. What else is being handed over to the North is the Nigerian Navy. Guys, I bring you this. All 44 candidates on Nigerian Navy supplementary list under Buhari's government are Northerners. So the northernization of the Nigerian security structure continues to gather pace. Northernization are all 44 candidates on Nigerian Navy supplementary list under Buhari government are Northerners. So let's get into it. The supplementary list of successful candidates recently released by the Nigerian Navy has only Northerners. Correspondence report. Successful candidates on the list were drawn from core North states, with only a few North Central, Kogi, and Niger states. All official An official of the service who spoke to correspondents said such a thing had never happened in the history of the service. He noted that the Nigerian Navy had always ensured equal representation of all the regions in its list, both primary and supplementary, querying why the latest one had no accommodation for all other regions. He said, normally after recruitment, they release a list, and those on that list will go for training. They divide into two batches, batch A and batch B. They released a supplementary list recently, and this has never happened before, that all the names on the list are from the north, all 44 of them. They are not just from the north, but mainly from the core north. So the core north, an arid desert area, and they of course constitute the entirety of the Nigerian Navy. Make of that what you will. In the recent in Make of that what you will. In the normal recruitment list, every state is usually given equal number, but I don't know why this is different. This supplementary list batch A has resumed, batch B will resume in January. These are the few people that will join those that are already there. As far as it is supplementary, every region and state should be included. The former ones they did, all the states were included in equal number except the Federal Capital Territory FCT. The FCT is the only one that usually gets lesser slots because most of those using FCT to apply are not from there. My question is, why is this supplementary list representing only the North? It should represent all parts, not just a particular region. So the northernization of the Nigerian security apparatus, it continues and hurtles towards its completion. What is still hurtling though are the missiles going in the direction of Yaya Bello. You were still in school when North-South agreed on rotational presidency. Ohaneze claps back at Yaya Bello. The Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization Ohaneze Indigbo has faulted the comment of Governor of Kogi State Yaya Bello over rotational presidency. Last Friday, during the maiden edition, let me take that from the top again. The Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization Ohaneze Indigbo has faulted the comment of Governor of Kogi State Yaya Bello over rotational presidency. Last Friday, during the maiden edition of the Governor Yaya Bello seminar for political and crime correspondent in Abuja, the governor described rotational presidency as unconstitutional. He stated Nigerians should be allowed to make their choices for the best candidates to emerge for the top post. Reacting in a statement on Monday, Ohaneze, which signed its statement, reacting in a statement on Monday by Ohaneze, which was signed by its National Publicity Secretary Alex Ogbonia, the group slammed Bello, saying he had demonstrated a remarkable obsession with ambition shortly after he became the governor in 2015 at a very young age. Ohaneze stated, there is no doubt that Bello has a date with destiny, going by a smooth political ascendancy that life has presented him. The group said Bello is embarking on a political adventure that lacks both conscience and principle. It noted that Bello was still a student in the higher institutions when an agreement was reached between the North and South with respect to the concept of rotational presidency, which he is objecting to. Going down memory lane on the history of rotation, the Apex Igbo group noted Governor Bello was still a student studying accountancy at the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria when an agreement was reached between the North and South with respect to rotational presidency. The meeting was held at the National University Commission Conference Center, Abuja, in 1998. Dr. Chuka Okadigbo, who spoke on behalf of the South, whilst Alhaji Abubakar Rimi spoke for the North. The likes of Dr. Alex Ekweme, Chief Solomon La, Dr. Nwodo, etc., were at the meeting. The Nigerian statesmen examined the merits and demerits of zoning and rotation of power between the composite zones in the country. At the end, it was resolved that the presidency be ceded to the South and that it would rotate between the South and North in the interest of equity, unity, and corporate existence of Nigeria. The foregoing was the basis for the emergence of presidential candidates of the mainstream political parties from the Southwest in 1999. Since then, the patriotic and peace-loving Nigerians have adhered to the rotation principle such that at the end of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo's second term, President Musa Yar'Adua was elected, Goodluck Jonathan, and then President Buhari. Ohaneze pointed out that it was on the basis of the foregoing that the Southern governors resolved in the Lagos meeting that the South should produce the next president of Nigeria after the President Muhammadu Buhari administration. It advised Bello to support the resolution by his Southern colleagues, especially as he is still young. Ohaneze enjoined Bello to embrace the ethnic functional relationship between the morality. Ohaneze enjoined Bello to embrace the ethical functional relationship between the morality of an agreement and the legality of the constitution. So that is the Ohanese's response to Yaya Bello. But what is your response to all of that? So Adale Koko, we see you. Pansat, we see you. Good to see you both. Pansat, you are driving. Do you want me to give you a moment, or are you able to talk?
Yeah, I'm driving. When I get to my meeting, I'm gonna call you again.
Oh, okay. Let me go to.
I'll be
Okay.
listening to you.
Yeah, drive safely. Let me go to Ajanle Koko first. So, Ajanle Koko, good to see you. This petroleum industry bill setting law to corner the market for Aliko Dangote. Yaya Bello talking out of turn. All the recruitments into the Nigerian Navy, not just Fulanis, but core North. This Nnamdi Kanu's wife now doing what she should be doing and putting the pressure internationally on the space, and Chidinma Ojukwu coming out to give more detail on exactly what happened on that unfaithful night. Adale Koko, good to have you back.
Good morning. Good afternoon, Mr. Woman. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you? I was just catching a comment from some rascally guy. This is Des Israel. He says, "One man, speak Ondo, please. Your English language is not smooth. I wouldn't be able to speak Ondo, but I'll be able to speak Oyo, which is where I am from. So I don't mind the English language not being smooth because I am a Yoruba man, but I am offended that you call me an Ondo man. Full Oyo, don't. But to you, Ajanle Koko.
Maybe the guy is from he's from Mondo. So he
No, no,
wanted
it's one of those
he
iPop
wanted to
boys.
speak Ondo so to
No,
make his
it's
day.
an iPop. If you can, even without looking at the name, from the comment you tell where they are from. It's one of those iPops that on a mission here. But let's ignore that. That's just a little joke aside. But
Yeah.
what is not a joke though is them handing the fifth or the seventh largest oil exporting country in the world to one man to continue to milk money. Exclusive rights essentially for Aliko Dangote, the Nigerian petroleum industry.
Well, what I see there is politics. I think he has spent a lot of money to lobby the Senate and the House of Rep. You know, he lobbied them hard, to write that bill in his favor. And we should know that if others don't lobby in the same vein, for their own interest, their interest will not be taken care of.
Adele Koko, I'm not quite sure if people fully understand the impact of what this guy has inserted into that petroleum industry bill. Aliko Dangote is building, certainly, if not the biggest, one of the top two biggest oil refineries, not in Africa, but in the world. So he's already covering a vast market. But then the largest black economy in the world, if there's any shortfall in his production, he almost has exclusive rights now because they are saying they are going to do it pro rata in terms of your last quarter of production. He has the largest production capacity. So 95% of whatever shortfall there is in the Nigerian market is going to go to him. So if his cost of production is higher than the cost of importation, he will just shut down his production, create a shortfall, import cheap oil, and sell it at his rate. So this, did you see? This we are talking, man. This guy is going to this guy is going down in. Is going to be richer than the Jews. This guy.
It might be even richer than the country, Nigeria.
Now, is he not? Is he not already? When
Yeah.
they are handing him essentially almost exclusive rights to the Nigerian petrol. He controls the refining and he controls the importation. Unbelievable. But well done to him if he's able to pull it off. They say Mugu, if Mugu is there, then you ride him, don't you?
You see, the politician and the elite in that country, all they are doing is to take care of their interest alone and not the interest of the country. Because an ordinary man listening to, what the roads on that bill, it's very clear that the interest of the nation is not taken care of. And I don't know what the nation is going to lose if they liberalize that market, if they make it for, every company that doing oil business to import as much as they can, but making it coming out with a clause saying that your the big you are is going to the big you are in that industry will determine what you get. That is totally a monopoly power given to Dangote, because by its production capacity, it's going to even be bigger than the NNPC, than Nigerian state in production of crude oil production. So it's you see, these politicians we have in that country, they are the ones that are going to destroy that country. Look at Dangote having refinery in Lagos. Lagos politician, the big weight politician in Lagos are behind it for him to have that refinery in the first place in Lagos. Why can't he have it in Kano or other parts of the country where
Ideally for me, I feel that those refineries should actually be where the oil is located. So I don't see the sense in having a refinery in Kaduna or Lagos when you have to do all of this pipeline at the expense and then try to secure them, when you can just easily put the refineries where the oil is and put security all over the place.
Yeah. So people who are living in those places where you have they were driven out by Lagos State under Fashola. I'm not sure if they were fully compensated. Those people went to court, they cried to everywhere. But they were driven out from their central home.
Alexander is saying, are you just waking up? That you sound like you're still in bed. This is what he's saying to you.
Yeah, I think it's right. It's just early in the morning. I just wake up some 30 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So it got you then.
It's right. Good morning, brother Alexandra. So it is what this guy has done. He has been able to lobby the politician, and they have put in place that policy in his favor, and except others stand up against it, and other players in that industry stand up against it. If not, it's going to be the order of the day, and that guy is going to be, it will dominate and it will monopolize. It's going to be the only key player after some time. And
can you imagine the volume of wealth that this guy in just 3-4 years, because they're going to pass this thing quickly, because of course this guy is the golden boy of virtually every administration, exclusive rights under Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, Buhari, etc. So there's nothing that is going to stop him. The wealth that guy is going to control.
I told you, this guy in the next 5 or 10 years is going to be richer than the state. It's going to be richer than Nigeria. Mark it down. If this thing pass through, and and that become the policy we're going to run on, is going to be richer than Nigerian state. So, but it is sad that we have our people in the South are the one destroying our interests. They don't take care of our interests. They don't like the interests. They don't care about the interests of the nation. Politicians in Lagos, Tinubu in particularly, are behind Dangote having that refinery in Lagos just because of their own interest. They could tell us, oh, it's going to create jobs, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. But just like you said, Mr. Woman, it's supposed to be very close to the source, where the oil is going to be. Where the crude oil is located, where it's been exploited. The refinery should be built close to there, but they build it in Lagos. It's not that we don't have people, Yoruba people, that have been in that business longer than Dangote. We have Folawiyo. in that business, in that
We
industry.
even have Abiola, Summit Oil. You
Yeah,
remember
they
Summit
have
Oil?
Summit Oil. They kill
Yeah.
it. After Abiola's incarceration,
Yeah, I
and,
think his son,
they
Kola, was
destroyed
in
that
charge of
business.
that then, Summit Oil.
Folawiyo has been exploring oil in Lagoon, in Lagos, in Badagry. I think they maybe produces like 100,000 or more than that. Maybe their production will have been increased now. But I remember they were producing over 100,000 barrels a day and something like that in Badagry. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the people that you have been supported and encouraged by, our politicians in Lagos, but rather they don't like their own people to grow. They rather, support a foreigner to come and do some shady deal on their soil to cover their own
And even you talk about foreigner, and that
corruption.
might well be a Freudian slip, because a lot of people will argue that Dangote is Nigerian. But if you're
No,
talking about foreigner,
I'm sorry,
this
it's
guy
not a
actually,
foreigner.
this guy
No.
actually, he only employs Indians. So that foreigner that you said is not far from the mark. A whole Indian colony already built up around that Dangote refinery in Lekki or wherever it is. So it's just he only employs India. So he takes all this Nigerian money for free and then hands it over to Indians. What is going on?
Oh, I think those are his business partner. So, and their interests have to be taken care of. Those are his business partner
I
and
can
ex-partner.
understand. I can understand that he will import the best expertise for his business, but even the lay jobs that can be done that Nigeria has capacity for, these people still import Indians to fill those slots. This is really where my resentment is. There's a huge Indian colony building up in Lagos now, just off the back of the Dangote dollar. So, but that's Dangote. Let's go on to Yaya Bello talking nonsense, and Ohaneze telling him that he was still in short trousers. He was still Eze goes to school when they had this agreement that the power should rotate between the north and the south. So Ohaneze claps back at Yaya Bello. What are you making of that part?
Ohaneze has woken up.
No, we're saying they don't participate in politics, but it looks as though they are now coming in to,
I like that historical background. They flash out to.
It was still 100 level in Ahmedu Bello University when this agreement was reached. So know your place, little boy.
I like that historical fact they flash out to Yaya Bello. You see, and what they said was absolute true. There was a meeting, like, in their statement in 1998. I remember very well. And Remy was the spokesperson for the Northerner, and Uwodo was the spokesperson for the South, where they agreed that, okay, we don't want to go through this kind of problem we went through after the annulment of Obasanjo, Abiola election victory, that we don't want to go through this kind of thing. So the best for that nation and to foster the unity of that nation is rotational presidency. And they agree. They signed when Ekweme was there, all the political leaders.
Okadigbo was there, Chuba.
Chuba, Chuba Osarido was the spokesperson for the South. I remember very well. And since then, and that was what brought Obasanjo to power, because after that annulment, the Northerner all over.
Solomon La was there. Solomon La.
Was representing.
So essentially, all of Nigeria was there.
All of Nigeria. Jakonde was there.
That is Nigeria.
Jakonde was there. Jakonde was there. He was still alive. He was there. all the political leaders were there all across the country.
And
And
some
the
schoolboy in short
unilateral,
trousers in Kogi State is now telling us that is no longer. Imagine the audacity.
so all of them they believed that the unity of country was in jeopardy as at then, and the only thing to do to bring the country together and for all of us to have a focus as a nation that, and grow that nation politically, rotational presidency is the solution. And they agreed. And that was why the two political parties we had then, there are more than two. We have PDP, APP, all AMPP, all Nigerian People's
So
Party.
yeah, all the big
And
players
we have Alliance for Democracy. Though Alliance for Democracy did not came out with a presidential candidate, but they aligned with ANPP to support Falaye, while PDP brought out Obasanjo, and Obasanjo won the election. And since then, that was why we saw after Obasanjo, he went to the north, and when Yaradua died, Jonathan had it, and when Jonathan was contesting for a second time, all these Buhari people said it's time for the north. Look at them now. They are saying, oh, the constitution did not say that. It should be free for all. Everybody should have right. So, Yaya Bello, number one, he lied that Northeast the North Central, the geopolitical zone that he came from, that they have not tested power before, the presidency before. He lied. Babangida is from North Central. Abubakar is from North Central. So you can imagine a person that wants to be the president of Nigeria started with a campaign of lie, open lie, something that is verifiable. Everybody knows it's lie. And he based his campaign on lying. So
okay.
How can that be a president? A president that is somebody can trust. So is anybody supporting that corrupt person that did not even pay the salary of workers for about maybe 18 months? Is still owing the worker in the state. It is the money that is supposed to use to pay the workers that is using to run his campaign now.
Okay,
So
like Dino
corrupt.
Milayo said, Yaya Bello máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìjọba. So we look forward to that. But what we were looking forward to and we're hearing now is Mrs. Kanu speaking to the space, and she's using that British space to mount pressure on the space or the situation that her husband is in at the moment. So she's claiming torture and abuse, and she's reaching to Nnamdi Kanu's British flag, speaking to British media, hiring a British lawyer, and trying to mount that British pressure. So what are you making of Mrs. Kanu coming into the space to stand by her husband?
I feel sorry for her. I don't know what she'll be going through. She has been going through rather since the kidnap and
rendition
and rendition of her husband. I don't know what she will have been. It's gonna be very tough for her because with the children, it's gonna be what the children will be going through now. The children. I don't know how old the children are. They be asking for their dad every day. They be asking, we know all. The way our children in.
I think they know the risk that that is inherent in the course that they are embarked on. So I think they will spend all day. They would have been spending every day in anticipation of a moment like this. So still, I'm sure they are jarred, but not caught off guard. Because, of course, what he was agitating for, there was always the possibility that it will end up like this or worse.
I don't think anybody expect it. We ever expect it to be like this. You know, that shock to the family, particularly the kind of psychological trauma they still be going through. I cannot imagine it. And even the organization,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
the
they are
not
still,
knowing, isn't it, that kills people?
yeah,
It's the not knowing,
yeah.
because like she
Even
is saying, they have no contact with him, so they're not even able to assess his physical or mental well-being, and they are getting second-hand information from a lawyer who essentially is a detached professional.
so the shock they're still going through as an organization to come back up is going to take some time, and the family in particular is going to be very tough, and the children is going to be very tough for them psychologically. The woman deserves to be, some people suppose, I mean, need to take up a responsibility to talk to her, and every day, and the IPOB as an organization should not relent in their efforts in taking up all legal help they can get from putting pressure on the British authority to do something on this, because whether we like it or not, or whether they like it or not, Britain as a nation, this guy is their citizen. It doesn't matter. He carried their passport. It's not traveling with
Oh,
Nigerian passport. It's on their
okay.
passport.
I
And
mean, I
you
think
know,
she's doing what she should be doing, trying to mount that British pressure because, we can make all the noise and have all of the demonstration that we like all over the world. But really, where this thing is going to play out is in the political arena. And in that political arena is where the British plays best. So, yeah, so
British
well done to her.
British can do a lot to help Kanu if Britain really want to do, and they should do it. British can broker a peace deal with Nigeria on Kanu that look, maybe with Kanu should be able to concede some things, maybe to stop the agitation. You understand what I'm saying? And give it up
Mm.
to another person to continue just to save his head. He can sign a deal, a peace deal, some kind of
But
way.
he's not going to do that, is he? Because I
It
think
should,
it's committed to some sort of a
no,
martyrdom, you know.
there's no, well, look, let me tell you, it is wise when you are in captivity, and you are in captivity by this kind of administration that doesn't have respect for human being, no human being,
No,
no
no
human
human
right,
rights. Yeah.
no human right. They don't have respect for human right. So you have to be tactical. You should be able to give in something for peace, because you have to consider his wife, his children.
But do you not think if he gives it up, his integrity is forever compromised?
Well,
People
what
who usually
integrity? Well,
people who usually embark on this course, they submit themselves to martyrdom. They know that the moment
it doesn't
can't
it
come.
doesn't it doesn't make sense to submit to martyrdom. Martyrdom on what? Is it, I will not see the others, and is it jostling for power for the East? Which martyrdom? Give it up. It doesn't kill, it won't kill the organization. Organization can still be run by another person, but save your life first. He who fight and run away can come back to fight another day. British
Okay.
can do that. British can do that. They can put up a very strong case against Nigeria, and Nigeria will listen because it's
Oh,
their citizen. If Britain stand up against Nigerian authority, look, this is what they want, and they put up, some kind of peace deal, between Kanu and Nigeria and tell Kanu, look, give up this thing, come back home to your wife and your children and save your head. Organization can still continue running and it can still come back later if you want to. But, it can still play a role underneath
save yourself first.
Yeah, save yourself first. You can still play a role, underground, doing some strategic work for them, but not the face of the organization anymore. Another person can take up that. This is what the lawyer should propose to Britain, and Kanu should be able to respect and accept that, just to save your head. Or if they kill him, they kill him, and that's it. What's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen.
Yes, exactly. I was having this conversation, I think, with Pansat yesterday, that he was saying that if anything happens to Kanu, that this, that, and the other. And I told him heavens will not fall. They're not looking to kill him, but if he passes away in their custody, they will just hand the body to his family for burial, and life will carry on. And he was quite upset by that. But I don't know, people will go on the streets, they will demonstrate, they will throw all this Fulani as police army at them. The usual, we know the template, but the template playing out here, Ajanle Koko, naval recruitment comes up with a supplementary list of 44 candidates, not just all from the north, but from the core north. So Navy, of course, you think sea and you think ships, and the north, you think arid land and desert. So essentially, they are trying to essentially turn it northern, the Nigerian security apparatus. This is essentially what they are saying. I'm trying to coin that phrase, northernification. So that's the new term I've come up with, the northernification of the Nigerian security apparatus. 44 new recruits in the Navy, all of them core north.
If you are even calling it notification, you are kind of you're combining you're combining all the north, and that is unfair. You're supposed to say it's Fulanization. That is what is playing out here. Fulanization of political space, Fulanization of the military, Fulanization of the economy. This Dangote thing is part of the agenda too. It's Fulanization. So when I was growing up, people that dominate the naval, a greater percentage of them are from the south, particularly Yorubas, just if I can remember, because we have the sea, we have the water here. How can people that doesn't have the water in their area, and all those that are the people that are going to dominate the job that essentially has to do with military, this military division that has to do with water and all the rest of it. So it's all that Fulanization agenda that is playing out, and this man is not hiding it. He's doing it with impunity. Nobody can tell me what. I don't care what people gonna say. I don't care about anything. So are they telling us that we don't have people that are qualified for that position from the entire South, but everything Fulanese?
Because the person that broke the story was saying that traditionally they take virtually an mix from all of the states of the federation so that everybody gets to have an input. But now, not only have they jettisoned that, they've just focused on one subset of one section of the country, the core north.
See, we have, this is an area where our politicians should be speaking to and standing up for the unity of that country. But these politicians don't care. But I believe we have committees in the Senate and the House of Rep that Armed Services Committee. They should be able to look into this. The recruitment, if the recruitment is not fair, if recruitment is based on nepotism, they should be able to do their job to stop it and do it with fairness and competence.
All right.
Fairness, competence. But
Oh,
we have a nation that is it's like everything is turning upside down, and we don't see anybody to rescue the nation.
all
And
right. Yeah, finish that thought. Yeah.
yeah, and people that are supposed to stand up and rescue the nation are have given up their responsibility completely, and it's gonna be very, it's not gonna yield a good result for the future of that country.
All right, thank you, Ajan Lekoko. Stay with us. Let's go to Rational Mind. Rational Mind, good to see you. You've heard the talking points. Aliko Dangote almost virtually being given exclusivity of rights over the Nigerian petroleum space. Mrs. Nandekano coming to speak out from North London, trying to use British leverage to put political pressure uh, on her husband's situation. 44 new candidates recruited into the Nigerian Navy, all of them exclusively from the core north. And the Ohaneze Ndigbo are coming to tell Yaya Bello that he was a schoolboy when the rotational thing was agreed, not to south. So good to see you, Rational Mind.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's good to be here again. Um, the Nigeria has it's a country that is it's a wonderful country, and a country where we keep seeing all kinds of things coming up, being thrown out every day. Um, First of all, let me speak to I guess the PIBs, my own interest, being that I'm from the Niger Delta area. But then the PIB, where I knew there was problem brewing, it was when this man Dangote was supposed to site, I think, his refinery somewhere in Ondo State, and I think they pushed it, and they pushed it towards Lagos. That was where I knew there was problem coming. But eventually, he did construct his refinery, and then again, where I sensed when I knew the problem was coming again was when I understood when I heard that NNPC was buying some kind of is it share in Dangote. I was like, why does these people
Yes,
have
I
a
think they
misplaced?
bought. I think about 20% or 5%. I'm not quite sure, but I saw that story a week or so ago. Yeah.
So why would these people have a misplaced priority? I mean, like, why would you? I mean, it's nothing wrong if a state should acquire part of. But then the thing is, you guys have your own refinery. What happened to that refinery? Why can't you people build your own refinery? Well, you see, the whole thing goes to what to the narrative that people have been using. I think recently I was listening to some
Everybody
people.
is in bed today. You sound half asleep too.
Yeah, I'm still in bed actually.
Yes.
Yeah. So the the narrative, like, so, I mean, people were talking about the slavery and all of that, and how the Europeans came to Africa and then colonizers and enslaved people and sold. But the thing is this: I'm just trying to use that analogy so that we understand where we're going. Uh, the Europeans did not come into the interior parts of Africa and start picking up black people and shipping them away. It was the black themselves, especially the kings, the elites back then, that did all of this and sold their fellow black men to the white people. And then the same thing is what we're seeing playing out today. We say Nigeria was set up as a business, and indeed, the white man set it up as a business for themselves. Eventually, they left it to the black people themselves, and then the so-called elites among the black people, they continue the same business. So what I'm not just trying to say is Nigeria is a business. it's so sad that the welfare of the people is not a priority of the so-called elites or so-called leaders. If you look at all the leaders Nigeria has ever produced, with the exception of maybe the first leaders that fought for their independence, even though we know some of them had their own agenda too, in a sense. But at least we could see some bit of honesty and sincerity in the likes of Awolowo, and maybe Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Tafawa Balewa and the rest of them. But even though we know some of them did have their own, their own agenda, kind of. But then, ever since then, Nigeria has never had any set of leaders that are really fighting for the people. All they are fighting for is their own pockets. So it doesn't come to me as a surprise that this country is still being run as a business. We have a huge National Assembly that milks that country, and at the end of the day, you see nothing. They're not being productive. They're not passing bills or enacting laws that is for the people. It's all about themselves, how they can preserve themselves, and maybe their own kids or their children when they come after them. They can this continuity of enslaving the people in that country, because this is another slavery. Because if
Well,
one man,
essentially, it is,
yeah, if one man like Dangote has monopoly over sugar, salt,
cement, now
cement, and all of
petroleum.
that, it's I mean, recently, I don't know, we were talking about. I mean, they was talking about. You heard about it. We had one side of the story, even though that's what it seems to be. Is it about Chidinma, the man that has? Is it Honeywell? I think it was. Maybe it was. He was also. Was it part of the chairman of the board of directors, or maybe chairman of First Bank? You know that about Chidinma was. I mean, it's into the kind of business that I think Dangote is into too. I think
Uh,
he has a refinery too. I remember when I was working in Apapa there, I used to work with ExxonMobil. I think is it Honeywell refinery. I think they have a oil refinery, a farm,
hmm.
not too far from
Oh,
Malu Road.
all
So
right. Leaving Dangote and going to still in the east, Nnamdi Kanu's wife speaks from North London, trying to come via Britain to put pressure on the situation that her husband is in. What do you make of that? What do
yeah,
you
I
make
will
of
speak
her?
to that. Just allow me finish that thought.
No,
I
no,
just want
because I
to.
want to steam things through so that we're not too. Yeah. So if you go to Nnamdi Kanu's wife,
Okay. Nnamdi Kanu's wife. I think she's doing what she's supposed to be doing as a wife, who has concern for her husband's welfare, well-being. So I think she's doing what she's supposed to be doing as a wife. Showing care that her husband's
and
safety.
hiring the British lawyer to
Was
also,
she the one who hired them, or was it the IPOB people? Because what I heard, the
well,
other part of the story I heard was,
essentially, a lawyer is on the scene, which is the
yeah,
main thing,
yeah.
irrespective
But we
of
just want to put things
yeah.
out there, like, okay, like she's the one. I don't know if she's the one. If she's the one, fine and good. But
No,
what I
no.
heard was,
I think ultimately the lawyer being hired is the main thing, irrespective of who hired the lawyer. So a lawyer coming at the legal angle of it to see what compels the British country to act, the British government, and
uh,
the
the question
wife
is,
putting the emotional pressure by speaking to the media. So as she spoke to the Times, so
uh,
and the Times, of course, is what is read by the elites.
yeah, well, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing as a wife. But the question is, how far this is going to go? We're going to see. We're yet to see. You're dealing with a state, a rogue state, if you call it. That's Nigeria, who went about kidnapping a man without following due process. Only God knows how much billions or millions of dollars they must have paid the international syndicate that did this job for them,
Mm.
bringing this guy home. They been kidnapping him essentially, and then kind of like put him in a body bag or whatever, and they brought him or whatever. However, the disguise is
He still
because I don't
looks
know.
drugged up, doesn't he?
Well, that one went back. That was from back then when we saw the image
Mm.
of him.
The
But what
last
I'm trying to say
images we
is,
saw, yeah.
how could they have moved him through the airport? I mean, what kind of clearance would they
No,
have
they would
given?
have bundled him through diplomatic packaging. So,
Of course,
with
it's possible
diplomatic,
too.
yeah, the same thing they did with Umaru Diko. So they would have
Maldigo, yeah,
put him
yeah.
in a crate. They would have knocked him out with drugs, put him in a crate or something, passed him under diplomatic something so that it's not checked at any airport, put him on the presidential jet that has been sent to Kenya, and flown him into some military base in Abuja. So that is the process.
Yeah, well, we know it's all it could be all this process we just mentioned, but thing is stands the one is the whole thing still stands. This is this state this country. I mean, Nigeria is a country that doesn't respect the rule of law. You know, they just I don't even see even the judiciary even. I mean, flexing its muscle in any way because they've capped. I mean, they've kind of pocketed this judiciary. People don't follow the law, especially the government doesn't follow the law. They do things at their own how they see it best. So it makes me doubt. I mean, it gives me this feeling of will this guy ever see justice?
Mm.
Would
But
he, I mean,
nevertheless, a good step in the right direction by
oh, it's a
Mrs.
good
Kanu.
step. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good step in the right direction. That the wife is also talking and showing concern for her husband's safety and all of that. Well, that's just that for that. I won't be able to say much on that.
Okay, let me take you to the north. And Ohaneze speaking to Yaya Bello that he was a small boy in small shorts when they came to this agreement of a rotational presidency. And it is because history has been removed as a subject from the Nigerian schools that he doesn't know that this is an agreement that was reached. So Ohaneze clapping back at Yaya Bello saying that rotational presidency is not constitutional.
Well, Yaya Bello is right. It's not constitutional.
Yes.
It's not constitutional. But then you see, people from middle. You see, let me say something. You see, if ever Nigeria is restructured, I want, I would prefer. I mean, I would suggest that they kind of like segment Nigeria into like three regions, perhaps. Let me just use the word, or maybe more than that. But you see, this part they call North Central. I want them to stop calling it North Central. Like, I mean, here in the US, we say Midwest. They should call it Mid. Like Middle Belt. I think that's the word we've been throwing out for many years. They should, delineate that place as Middle Belt because if the northern people could claim that place as part of North, and looking at places like Benue State that is still more like South, and they're referring to as a northern. North. Sometimes I just wonder. Like, so if we can call it North, we can call it South, like Kwara State and even Kogi State, that seems to be part of the South. And then we can understand the other anything across the Niger, we can understand maybe it's also part of the North, but then they're also part of the Middle Belt. So they should carve that place out as so that way no one single region will be having a total domination over over the rest. Because they keep calling Kwara State, Kogi State, Benue State as claiming as a northern part of, north, even they use the word north central, but that's not what he actually used. They call it north. But then to me, it's kind of like I see it as land grabbing and it makes no sense. And that's why they say they have the numbers. I wonder what numbers they have. So to your question.
Rational mind. Nigeria is split into six geopolitical zones. That North Central is actually loosely known as the Middle Belt. Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger Plateau, and the FCT. The Northeast, Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, Yobe. The
I understand what
Northwest.
you're saying.
Yeah,
What
no,
I'm saying is,
let me just present this for the benefits of having
okay.
some data on the floor. So the northwest Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara. The southeast Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo. The south Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Rivers, Delta, Edo, and the southwest Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, and Oyo. So those are the six geopolitical zones of Nigeria. So back to you, Rational
Well,
Mind.
well, you already said it, but then I know all this what you're saying. But what I'm saying is this. Well, okay, let's look at it from this way. We have two governors forums, regional governors forum. Right? Let's just take it from there. We have the South, which we saw them recently. They formed their own, and then we have the North, and the Northern Governors Forum. These ones you call middle belt, they're also part of the northern government. Like even like Benue that is crying for over this issue of genocidal issue that that is going on in that area. They also refer to they attend the Northern Governors Forum. You know, they might have their own Northeast or whatever forum. But what I'm saying is this: we have 17 Southern Governors Forum. We have 19 Northern Governors Forum, and this so-called Middle Belt states, they are part of those Northern Governors Forum. So what are we saying? That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm saying you should look at it from. So if they can be considered that way, and they claim they have the numbers, to me I thought it's just this political thing in Nigeria. Well, you see, governments all this thing just want to continue enslaving the people in that country.
And also, rational mind, Ajale Koko was just pointing out that within that cusp of that middle belt that you just described, you have Niger State that has already produced two presidents, Babangida, of course, and Abubakar Abdulsalami. So that marginalization it just shows this guy.
They'll
Yeah.
even tell you that, the guy has a right to tell you that, this ones were not a civilian president. We need. He will say we need a civilian president from this, not from this. So-called central. North central part of Nigeria. But the thing is this: what he said is it's not constitutional. Yes, it's not in the constitution. Well, see, one thing about Nigerian politicians is that, especially those northern politicians, is that they'll tell you that when it's politically expedient for them, that is why they'll start throwing things out there. But when it's not their own, when it's against them, you see them, they will stand there, they will stand for their right. Remember when after Obasanjo left there, they were clamoring for a northern governor, a northern president. They brought in Yar'Adua. Unfortunately, he could not finish his tenure. And then somehow things changed, table changed, and then they gave it to the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. So what I'm trying to say is this: he has the right to say it. So those things that he said is signed, whatever it is. For me, I don't think it should be followed. It should be followed because it's something that everybody entered into. But now they're telling you that it's not constitutional because why? They just feel is what they can say. So if they can follow it,
but it wasn't constitutional when they were clamoring for it, for Yar'Adua and for Buhari. So they clamored for it and got it. So now they remember the constitution.
Yeah. So the Northerners are very. You remember the other time when Buhari's cousin, or was it his cousin or nephew? What's his name? When he went to one of these national TV station, and he was saying that I think he was saying something in the line that we should we should make the presidency. We should not make it based on region or based on where people is from. We should just throw it open. Who was saying the look? But when your brother was, your uncle or whoever, that's Buhari. Why did you come and say that back then? You see, why did you say everybody can contest for it? It's not that you must be from the north or from the. But now that Buhari is almost finishing his own thing, you can talk now and you can say you should throw it open. So, but you see, the Northerners are very, very good at. They are very hypocrite. I would say most of their politicians are hypocrites. When it's politically expedient, that is when they will be throwing some kind of narrative out there. But when it's against them, they see them. See, so you see, like you're talking about the Navy, and we're not just Navy. Talking about the judiciary too. They started dominating the old judiciary now. They appoint more of the Northerners into the judiciary than even the Southerners, which I don't understand on what basis is that. But then it's clear that these people they're trying to take over everything in that country. But then how far this can go, we shall see. With the Southern governors,
but you keep saying how far this can go, we shall see. But they do all these things. There's no consequence. We make a lot of noise in the space, and then things settle down, and then they do the next one, and then they do the next one. Especially under this administration, they've just institutionalized northernification, and nobody has been able to do anything about it.
So you see, the reason why you and I come on your platform is so that we talk ideas. But you see, sometimes solutions and way forward is something that most of us we don't agree on, especially we from the South. We seem not to be able to agree on what way or how do we get about this and fixing this problem. That's what we don't agree on, all of us. We all have our own perspective or how we see issues and how we feel it can be resolved. As long as we have this division among us as to how to do it, we're not going to be able to make. Look at the issue of IPOB and Yoruba Nation. With these two people now being kind of like silenced now, I hardly hear any story in that line anymore. Like, it's not really as strong. But these two people that seem to be the most, I mean, the people that are at the forefront, they're now being, I mean, kind of so to speak, like Nnamdi Kanu is now incarcerated. Igboho now is on this, has went underground, and the whole thing is dying down. So, see, it's a problem in that country. But then we just need to all come together and work on the solution. If this is what we agree on, let us follow it. But it's like everybody seems to want to do their own thing, and as long as we do that, this division will always make them to continue in their shenanigans in our country, especially the northern elite. So that's all I have to say for now.
All right, thank you, Rational Mind. Always good to hear from you. Let me acknowledge Alexander's super chat before I go on to Ovie. So this is what Alexander is saying via super chat. He says, one man, Aliko's refinery, in my opinion, belongs to some retired generals, including Babangida. Shame. So he's making that attribute, and I don't think too many of us disagree with that, because this is what we all think. If we don't know it categorically, we certainly think it. That Aliko essentially is a bagman for the generals, especially the ones from the north. Ovie, good to see you. You know what the talking points are. The Aliko Dangote cornering the entirety now, essentially, of the Nigerian economy. Nnamdi Kanu's wife coming out to speak in defense of her husband. 44 new recruits into the Navy, all from the core north, and the Igbos telling Yaya Bello to shut up. Good to see you, Ovie. On mute. On mute.
My bad.
Waiting with this now. You are not a newcomer. to you, Ovie. Eh?
Yeah, I'm just trying new stuff out. I mean, Dangote is. I admire him. I admire the business IQ, his ambitions. Dangote na typical example, a prime example of waiting our parents they tell us when we grow up that we should dream and have the courage to pursue our dreams. However how big that dream is, we should have the courage to face it and pursue it.
Is it pursue dreams or nepotism? Because this is anybody can pursue dreams. This is nepotism.
That's fine. You have every right to use any words or any time to qualify what he's doing or his persons. However direction he applies life. We all have
let me give you this example.
No,
hold on, Ovie. Let me give you this example. You and I were vying for something. We're equally qualified, first class in everything, same exact CV. We submit our CV. In fact, let me say I'm even better qualified than you. I got a first, you got a 2-1. I have more work experience and more talent in the space. But we go into the space, your uncle is in charge, he ignores my better credentials and hands the opportunity to you. Are you saying you are getting it through hard work or through nepotism?
This is my theory. It's in my theory of life.
No, right? to that example that I just gave you, because that is exactly what we're talking about. I'm better qualified, more experienced, more talented. Your uncle is in charge. He gives you the opportunity in spite of me being able to do it better. Is that your hard work or is that nepotism?
Are you going to allow me to answer?
But address that question though, because I know you want to run away.
Are you going to allow me to answer it?
No, of course. I mean, I can't stifle your voice. Yeah, you speak.
Exactly.
But to the question, yes.
That's what I'm going to. Me in life, I believe luck, as we call it, is preparation meet opportunity. Right? In this case, the guy is qualified. He has prepared. The opportunity comes. In this case, is uncle. So you can, time it however you want, look at it however you want. If you are in that same position, it's 99% that you will do the same thing. Because first of all, you are a human. His uncle is a human. So the most important thing here, he qualifies. Then luck, as everybody calls it, Shannon at this time is on his side. So I'm not going to hate that. I'm not. So in terms of Dangote, I'm not going to hate his progress. I'm more curious how he's doing it.
Nobody is saying his progress. We're saying that the space should be opened up for competition.
The space is always open.
The space is, you heard the narrative.
If it's not,
there's no space that Dangote is in the Nigerian economy that is open to competition. We saw what happened with the Dangote is closed everything and opened them a corridor.
Dangote is not
the petroleum.
Dangote is not 200 years old. It's not 100 years old. Before Dangote was born, the game has been played. Game has been going on. So you understand? You grew up in the same system me and you grew up in. You understand? So however you find it there today, that's what I'm curious about, how you do it. A country whereby we have
there's no mystery as to how we did it. Nepotism.
Everybody and however is why is it always like that? If Dangote happen to come from
nepotism is to the disadvantage
why
of 200 million people.
Let me tell you something. Why is it that if assuming Dangote is an American and is pulling weight, we'll be praising him? The top 10 countries that control this nation by extension.
1 minute.
Let me finish. Let me just land this point.
Just one statement.
All right.
Are you saying that we have to continue running that nation the way it's being run now?
That is what he's saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Can I finish my point? I always sarcastically say that na politics. This is life we are talking about here. It's a game. If you don't want it to continue, get into it and play it. And play it to your own way that you understand that it's going to be fair. If you sit down and keep complaining, life is going to continue moving. Nobody cares about how you feel. That's life. In America, the countries that control American by extension, the words are owned by individuals, families. They praise them every freaking day. Get into the game. Dangote is 50-something years old. If the game don't they go on before they burn this man. So what you know they talk? The country whereby there are short collars in every nooks and crannies of that country. Power cutters there everywhere. But in all ethnicities. Dangote is wait. Dangote is a classical example. Yes, Dangote is a classical example that we Nigeria claim that though his education is not up to par. But he's calling the shot.
Never said that.
Listen to my statement.
Right, no, but don't make up stories.
Can I finish?
But don't make up stuff.
When I mean,
is not up to
wait, they interrupt me now before you twist my word. Let me finish. Let me explain what I mean by that. You understand? We are in a country whereby people will go have PhD now with the CC they are educated. Dangote have just the basic requirement of education and is calling the shot where all those educational where would they celebrate the day, and here you are telling me I should be. No, I'm curious, how is it doing it? That's what I'm curious about.
You are looking at it from the wrong angle.
No, I didn't look at it from the wrong angle. I didn't look use one word earlier on, which I'm surprised to hear that I use. What is the word again? Lobbying. That is always lobbying, and I said I'm surprised because I expect him to say, bribe. That's the word we are used to. Bribe is the bribing way. So this is 200 million freaking people. Now this man they call shorting, and you say make a day. No, I'm curious. How is he doing it? How is he able to rate to that level?
So that
that's what I'm curious about.
Is that so that you can emulate it? You want to be like that, do you?
What do you mean? Yes.
Okay.
What is wrong in doing? What is wrong in that?
That's why.
What is wrong in that? If you allow me, I will do it. If you allow me. If you allow me, I will do it. If you allow me, I will do it. That's the word.
I'm going to challenge one man. Anyway,
Okay.
it has been a long time anyway, so
Yes, you've been away. Yeah.
I'm going to challenge one man.
Mm.
So I think you have to rephrase your statements like Ovie just make a statement now that you didn't say he bribe his way, right? He lobby his way. So I think you have to correct that.
Sorry, we missed that.
In your statement, you said
Yeah.
that Dangote um, um, got his way, right?
Mm.
But you didn't. I think you said how do you use it? Use the word.
Did
But
you say love?
Ovie now is counter you that you said he get his way, not bribe his way.
No, it
lobby.
was Ajanle Koko that he was referring to, not me.
Oh, okay,
Now,
okay.
Yeah.
let me finish my point, Chesley. And I'll run it up with what Alexandra said about his comment that Aliko Dangote refinery is, in his opinion, belong to some of the retired generals. My question is, okay, then why Dangote? Among 200 million people, why did they choose Dangote? You understand? It's not the only billionaire we have in Nigeria, not in Africa. Why him? So those are the things I'm curious about. He has something that a lot of the rest of us don't have. He knows something that a lot of us don't know. I'm more curious about that. If it control a million people, this man can rose and start calling all the shots, start lobbying everyone, and you say, "Oh, I should." No, I'm curious. I want to be like him. If you allow me to do that, if you allow me, I will do it.
Okay, so
And you will do it too if we allow you. That's a fact.
I would not.
We know.
You speak for yourself. you see,
That is the human in us. That's the human in us.
No,
That's
it's
it.
not the human in us.
Okay.
It might well be the human in you. So, but it's certainly
Okay, yeah.
not the human in.
All right, yeah. If you guys allow me, I will do the same thing.
Yeah, go on,
Can I
Ajanle
interject
Koko.
one
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
Ovie, nobody is saying that Dangote should not run his business or lobbying. What we are saying that as a nation that need to progress or supposed to be a competitive nation in this world, we have to come out with good policy that we that we ginger that country, to progress. Monopolization
I mean, it's
is
basic
not
stuff.
good for any
It is
country.
you that call it like that.
Not even
This
Dangote.
listen, see, you corrected me that as you said of saying us, as you said me. That is Dangote. To him, that is his best policy he can ever think of. That's him.
Ovie,
Listen now.
you're not
We
getting it.
allowed him to go away with those policy. We allowed him.
Hold on, Ovie. Ovie, what I said earlier is that the politician has been lobbied by him to give him that monopolistic power. And we are saying that our politicians have not done well. And the other key player, hold on, the other key player in that industry should stand up and challenge it. What are we going to lose as a nation if we have that market liberalized and everybody that in the industry
That
can
even
bring in that
propels
product?
the economy more. So,
Yeah,
let me
that
just
will help the economy.
So
Yeah,
Dangote is not the issue then.
Thank you, Ajanle Koko.
Dangote is not the
You
issue.
understand? I'm not sure if you fully grasp, but we take your point just for the purposes of moving things along. Nnamdi Kanu's wife, speak to that, Ovie.
Well, I mean, I didn't read. What did she say?
Well, she is coming out into the space to say that her husband is being tortured and they don't have access to her. She's granted an interview with the London Times, which is the paper that is read by the British elite, and either her or their organization have also hired a lawyer in Britain to fight their matters. So essentially, they are moving to use that British pressure to keep their son's situation in focus. So I thought it was a step in the right direction. But what do you think? Nnamdi Kanu's wife comes out into the space to speak.
I mean, she's doing that. She's doing that. I believe every wife will do or should do. I mean, regardless of how whatever treatment, no matter how even if he's being, given the first class treatment. But the fact that she doesn't have access to him is still, is still considered to be, inhuman treatment to her. So, yeah, I understand. I still expect more from her to come. I mean, I expect more, to rally around the women first, then the general public, to be on her side. So, yeah.
All right, brilliant. And to Ohaneze speaking to Yaya Bello that he was in short trousers when the agreement was reached to have that power shift from north to south. And he now speaking to self-interest is just the misguided utterances of ill-informed youth. So Ohaneze clapping back at Yaya Bello on his comments on rotational presidency.
So is that supposed to be? Yeah, I mean, is Yaya Bello supposed to be shivering about that kind of statement?
Well,
Tomorrow,
no, it's the political
wait
space,
now.
isn't it?
Tomorrow, if I decide to go for the presidency, they will tell me the same thing, and they will be right. If a child who is born today, grow up and old enough to contest for president in the next 30 or 45 years, they will say the same thing, and so this is nothing. This is this. So again, I see it from this perspective. When they follow me argue the other day that the man nobody in the political space is not a national player. For Naheze to the Shiva for where then they just because of waiting that small boy as you talk and talk. Just tells you a lot of the power where he get.
No, you see, this is why
a single individual speak a whole region. They come out, they counter his statement. What does that tell you? That is a national player right there.
No, that is not, and that is not what's happened. Let me explain what's happened to you. The Ohaneze are not necessarily responding to Yaya Bello, who they don't essentially regard. They are responding to that comment, which is a comment in the space. So it is to the comment and not Yaya Bello. If a dog or a monkey on the trees made that statement, Ohaneze would respond to it because it's a comment that is integral to the space that they're contending. So it is to the comment and not to Yaya Bello that
wait. Now English will they speak now, Abi? And I'm responding to waiting you read to me. Right. Because you use some caricature word to describe in that small boy where they say they in Nika where they born him. So they are responding to him specifically.
No, they are responding to his comment.
Am I talking out of space here? Read what you. I mean exactly. I'm responding to what I have you said. Which I hear you they read. Yes, he was in the contest. You think there's Yaya Bello boldly written there.
Yes, I disparaged Yaya Bello to remove him from the comment so that
I'm sorry.
Response is not to Yaya Bello.
I'm sorry. Your attempt.
It was in school shorts.
Your attempt to shut him out of the picture. Boldly highlighted him as the subject matter.
Yeah, okay, well, I think
I be not be grammar you the way they speak. I understand grammar. I put on if you put on the way you they put out.
Just for the purposes of steaming through, because so many people still to go.
So will you not agree? Do you not agree, or will you take your statement back that Yaya Bello is not a national player?
Yaya Bello is just.
That is a whole region. That is a whole region responding to him.
You've heard the Ohaneze themselves calling him a small boy in school shorts. So that tells you everything. That says that shut up, small boy in school shorts.
That is a whole That is a whole region.
School shorts. Where?
That is a whole region responding to him.
Listen, they're telling him to go to the shop and go and buy cigar. This is what Ohaneze are saying. Go to the shop and go and buy cigar. Grown-ups are talking. Grown-ups are talking is what they are saying to him. Grown-ups are talking. I mean.
And guess what?
That is exactly what I said as well. So they are saying exactly what I said. They are telling Yaya Bello, shut up. Grown-ups are talking.
And here we have me and you talking about in the letter Brent of across the Atlantic. And you tell me say not this. Today, if you come and declare to be a president, you say they will respond to you. If I do the same, you say they will respond to me. So
No,
that
in
is a.
terms of what I said,
It doesn't
what I
matter
said is
what you said.
germane. What
Nothing. I
if
don't
what I
care
said
which
is
you go talk.
germane to
Not.
the narrative, they will
Yeah, no.
respond.
It doesn't matter what me and you want to
Okay,
grammar way you
okay,
want use.
okay,
They will not
okay.
respond to me and you.
Just for reasons of time. You know, I will normally sweat you, but for
No, now
reasons
you.
of time, hold on. For reasons of time, and just wanting to get everybody in, let me shuffle Rational Mind to bring Black League in. We enjoyed hearing from that Black League the last time. And let me shuffle Ajale Koko to bring Emmanuel in because we have never heard from Emmanuel before. So everybody now, I think we lost Emmanuel. So everybody now on the screen, let me acknowledge whilst I have the opportunity, Alexander's super chat, which he points in your direction, Ovie. It says, Ovie, I am sure if you know what these oligarchs dabble into, you will run faster than Ben Johnson to stay away. Same-sex coupling is a huge factor. So same-sex coupling is the penchant of the elites, according to Alexander via his super chat. So thank you, Alexander. Those are your words, not mine. I don't know to say yes or no.
Well,
But go on.
I cannot
He was
be.
saying that, by the way, in reference to you, saying that if you had the opportunity, you'll be straight in too.
No, yeah, I cannot be outside of the club and be saying, oh, inside the club it's too nice, you know, good. This is what they are doing. This is what they are doing. So I don't know. So if I did that, then I can confirm what he's saying.
Yeah,
You know,
but
if
are
it's
you
right or
willing
wrong.
to pay the price? You see the price that Alexander says you have to pay. So are you willing to pay that price to come in? That's the question.
It's not ain't just the speculation. That is one of so. That's what I'm saying.
He knows the elite, so he knows what they get up to. But to the army recruitment, the navy, of course, seafaring military agency, and the north, the core north, and arid desert space. But all of the personnel in the navy, of course, from that arid desert space. Only in Nigeria, 44 supplementary recruits all from the core north into the navy. What's going on there?
Nothing out of this world or nothing should be, as I said, I'm always curious and interested how this move are being made, what's leading to this move and all that, because every government, that's why when people they praise good luck, and they look as in good luck no be, it doesn't even understand what power is. Anywhere in the world, if you assume power, you acquire power or power given to you, the first thing to do is to protect it by any means necessary, either by firing some people you don't trust or bringing people that you trust. Obasanjo did it. When Obasanjo come, you look at the military ranks because he don't did that space before. He removed the potential people who go give an headache, replace them with people who know say yes, that they are new into the system. The same thing, and that's what good luck, refuses. So people go say, oh, he's trying to be democratic and all that. All that bullshit. At that level, how you go take your power as long as you can is what's important. And that is what not just the Buhari administration is doing, the northern power is doing. So is what they are looking at to how do we control this space called Nigeria for the next foreseeable time, 100 years, 1 million years,
see
impossible.
How that plays out because
exactly.
Because the Nigerians themselves are resistant,
which is good.
Control.
That's balance of life, which is good.
Let me tell you something, Ovie. If you are holding a gun to somebody, then two people are held at gunpoint. You, the person holding that gun to somebody, and the person that you're holding that gun to. Because, of course, the moment you put that gun down, they will have you. You cannot hold somebody by force because you yourself, you are being held by that force that you're using to hold that person. That is something you need to reflect on, Ovie, as you continue to deify these abokis.
No, I'm not. I am not deifying it. As I said, I'm just curious and interested. How are they doing it? How are they doing it?
If they are holding the space at gunpoint, then they are held at gunpoint too.
One man, there's something every human being that is alive today have in common.
Which is what?
Which is death. And guess what again? We don't know when and we don't know how. We don't have control of that. So if you get power, hold them as much as you can, because one of the laws of 48 laws of power is also say
Forget
that
all the
if you capture your enemy, finish him. If not, you give her room to come back and take over. Finish. That is human. This is just basic human. How would they feel me and you? You won't control as much space you can for this internet world we are in. As much as you can. That's what you are shooting for.
Okay. All right.
And I can't hate that.
If you are holding Nigerians by the force of a gun, then you are held by the force of that gun too.
Last, all of us go die. Nobody is going to come out of this life alive.
But
that's one thing you should understand.
Okay.
You won't go, you know, go, no, you are still going to go.
Okay. Thank you. Here, I'll hear some more from you, but let me go on to Baba Akure and go through the talking points. Baba Akure, good to have you back. To the narrative, Aliko Dangote cornering the oil sector. So essentially, this guy essentially now controls the entirety of the Nigerian economy. Exclusivity in sugar, exclusivity in cement, and now the marquee item of the Nigerian economy, the oil industry, virtual exclusivity as well. Richard and Mansa Musa is how this guy is going to end up, all at the largesse of his clansmen who have taken ownership of the Nigerian state, according to OVA. So to that, now the Kanu'S wife comes out into the space to put pressure on the British system to use their leverage to help her husband. So is that a step in the right direction by your reckoning? 44 recruits into the Navy. The northern region, they call North, an arid desert space, but nevertheless, the entirety now almost of the Nigerian Navy are Boki and Fulanis. So what do you read into that? And when you're so shut your mouth is what Ohaneze is saying to the rascally little boy from Kogi State. So to all of that, good to have you back, Baba Akure.
Thank you very much. To start with, I will request that you give me the topic one after the other, but the first one I'm going to speak about this issue of Dangote.
Okay.
I was trying to make a point when I interject OVA the other time, so I got the word that I was trying to use at that time.
Yeah.
I think Ajanleko could maybe use bribe his way or lobby his way. I don't know which one he used at that time, but either bribe his way or lobby his way, two of them always come together, and it happens everywhere in the world. You see, company comes and lobby, and the bribe will take away from that place. It doesn't really matter where that company from. Either US, it happens in US, it happens in Canada, it happens.
Baba Akure, is it not even a matter of national security and concern that the entirety of the Nigerian economy is vested into some guy from Kano? So he essentially now controls virtually a good 30% of Nigeria's economy, if not 40%. Is that even good for the nation's security?
Building, not at all. As I was trying to compare other nations like US, Canada, and other places like that. Company do lobby, but it's not one company that will dominate the whole business empire of the country. It doesn't work that way. We can have a group of lobbyists that will come on behalf of a maybe sugar factory company. It won't be just one person. They will lobby their way. They will bribe their way politicians and go through it. So it happens everywhere anyway. But for Dangote to single-handedly control almost all the entirety of Nigerian business, I think, and that is what is going on. That is why we find ourselves. That is why we find the country in this position. Because when you're talking about the issue of flour, when you're talking about the issue of cement, when you talk, name them. Right now, cement is cement. He just decide how much he want to sell his cement. And cement now is about 4,000 or over 4,000 naira.
And you know, just the funny thing, I keep interrupting you, but that Dangote, just citing that cement as an example, which is the forebinger for things to come in the petroleum industry. He sells this cement in Ghana for a good 30% or so lesser than what he sells in Nigeria.
Not even in Ghana alone, all over Africa.
Yes. You know, the same company selling at a 30-40% discount in other spaces, but just milking that monopoly that he has. Because, of course, in other countries, he has to compete against
Eh,
other companies.
eh,
But
eh,
in Nigeria, he has a monopoly. So if they give him monopoly of our petroleum importation now, he will just, it's a license to print money. It's even a license to print the
oh,
American dollar. He will just be
I'm going
milking
to
dollar.
I'm going to nail that very fast. You see that issue of that refinery. The other day, what we are hearing that the petrol crude oil will, the petrol will be cheaper if we have refinery in Nigeria, but with this situation of change that he alone, we still have to compare it with the issue of cement now and sugar. With him alone now have refinery in Nigeria. Don't believe that petroleum something is going to be cheaper than what government is selling right now, because he determine how much he want to sell his product. If you don't want it, you get lost, and that is why our economy is not developing, because it is only one man control the whole economy. Adan Legoko made mention of something that the man will be richer than when the time comes, the man will be richer than Nigeria. Just put that aside. The man is richer than Nigeria already. You just imagine how much he has in his bank account. We know that he will also have some debt and stuff like that outside from the bank, that he got loan from the bank and run his business. But look at Nigeria. 97% of our revenue is using to service our debt.
Shall I tell you another thing on that Dangote as well, Baba Kore? You know that the refinery that is building in Lagos, they classify that as a national need of some sort. So because of the national importance of that refinery, this guy gets to buy the dollar at a concessionary rate from the central bank. So it's even round tripping dollars. So he'll buy it at that discount, maybe 5%. In the central bank, he will round trip it and buy it again. So it's round. This guy is just my God, man.
Because we are running neoliberal economy, which is capitalism, right? So you see this man, for this refinery alone, he will make billions of dollars from that. Because I can tell you, every single thing that he imported to Nigeria to build that refinery will come in free of charge, without paying any taxes. That is what is going on. So if you believe that petroleum things is going to be cheaper in Nigeria, I think you have to dream in the next generation, not this generation. So that is what is killing our economy. And our politicians, they are not helping matter. They don't care. In as well, they get their own cut.
All right, Baba Kure, just for reasons of time, let's go to Nnamdi Kanu's wife. She is speaking to the space now, speaking to the London Times, and either her or the organization hiring a British lawyer looking to put a British pressure on the husband's situation. So what is your assessment of that? Nnamdi Kanu's wife speaks to the space.
Thank you very much for that. No matter what, there was a time that I heard that two of them had problem and whatever.
Because the guy too like babes.
Okay. Well, almost every man like that.
Of course,
it is just that you have to caution yourself.
Of course.
Just
it's your pocket. It's your pocket that determines your activity. But carry on.
Okay. So, no matter what, if you and woman have been together and have kids together, there is no way. If it is just issue of womanizing or something like that nature is the problem of Kanu, I don't think that the lady will use that to just leave her husband and not attend to his case, because that is what every woman we do for their husband. And I think she is right of doing all that and see what can come out of it. And like Ajan Legoko said, I think I am not going to say Kanu can decide on what he wants. I'm not going to really say that he should ship out of his agitation or whatever.
No, I think that would be a real. I don't think even he can do that anymore. It's gone too deep, and too many too many things has happened, too many lives lost are just at the sound of his voice. He cannot now say that, oh, now I'm no longer it because I want to rest. No, he cannot do that.
Exactly. So, and we heard his statement where he said either Biafra or he died. So I think he's the person that really committed himself to that cause. So, well, he is not Yoruba.
There he is. You know, the Yoruba man will abandon it.
He's not a Yoruba man that when little things happen, they ship out.
Yes,
So anyway, to cut the story short, his wife is really, I think I like the idea, no matter what, and whatever difference they may have, whenever issue they may have between themselves, at least she came out at least to do something about the release of her husband. So that is my take for that.
And to the naval thing, 44 new recruits all from the North, an arid desert area, and the Navy, of course, a seafaring military agency.
Okay, for that one, I will still go back to our politician, because they allow everything to just live because of their own ambition. So we poor people, we masses, we are in a big mess anyway, because we don't have any leader that can really stand for us. I think OVA might be right in some cases anyway, some instances, because these people, they don't really care. They only care about what they will get. So
is this not total domination that we're seeing now?
That is, you know, they be saying this. Okay, now what I want to bring into that, they have been saying this for a very long time. Obasanjo said that. They say, "Oh, shut your mouth up. You don't know what you're talking about." Now we can see clearly, and the question is that what are our politicians or our leaders in the South are doing about this case? Absolutely nothing.
But what can they do? They can't do anything. They will get the Igboho treatment, will they not?
You see the issue of Igboho, because most of these people are not in support. Anyway, they may support undergroundly and stuff like that. But if they unite the way the governor have been united, there is nothing anybody can do. But it's just that people don't. They just want to go with the flow. Let just this man finish his 2 years. I think maybe that I could be wrong. I think maybe that is what they are thinking. That, oh well,
yes,
let's just lie low and let him finish his 2 years.
That would be a big mistake for them to think that
but that 2 years is still very, very long.
It's a long time.
You know, when people suffer for just 1 day or for just 1 month, it will be like 10 years. Remember, see what already happened this year. We are still in the middle of the year. Remember how many things, how many lives have been lost this year, and we are still going. We still have about 5 or 6 more months to go. Our politicians, they are not doing anything. They don't care. And before, like Ajan Legoko said, before I never heard that the Navy officers are from North. Navy officer usually come from Nigeria.
Navy officer Sokoto. From Sokoto, Mukhtar from Sokoto, Navy officer. Where is the river in? What about Effiong in Calabar?
That is what I'm saying.
Has all of the river in front of it.
That is what I'm saying. What I know is that from Port Harcourt down to Lagos State, that was where I know that our Navy officers came from.
Look at that. Navy cadet.
I'm going to cite an example. In 1983 or between 1984, it was Commodore Otiko, which is from South Middle Belt. Then
that one that was the deputy to Babangida, what's his name? He was a naval officer.
I think Aigbe.
Aigbe, yes.
So then thereafter we have what's the name of this man? The former PDP. The man from Lagos. Is PDP.
Aigbe is from Fuga in Edo State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's a man in Lagos State. What's the name of this man? It's not Otiko.
Yeah, it will come to you in a moment, but
okay.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that it's from either from Port Harcourt down to Lagos. That is where we used to have Navy staff, because I at least I know a little bit about that, because when they posted military governor to my state, they always be from that area, from Port Harcourt down to the Lagos. Okay, so now we see that all the naval staff now is selecting from the northern part,
Mukhtar and Dan Ladi
where they
from
don't
Adamawa and Sokoto,
where they don't even
where
have
there
water.
is the rain doesn't even fall there. Never mind them having.
And you see, that is the reason why we are having problem of insecurity in Nigeria today, because those people are not capable. If they, to be honest with you, if they use a northern person to head the military, I mean to the military, like chief of naval, chief of general staff, I think they are good, because they used to be in that position. But when you're talking about naval and you're talking about Air Force, it's supposed to be from Middle Belt and Southwest. But when you use northern part, who doesn't even know anything about
and remember, we had this same narrative in the DSS as well a few months ago when they released when they did recruitment, and it was 80 something percent north, and then the rest split the difference. So this is what we're saying.
It is not that alone. In every security personnel department that you're talking about, that is how it's always be. Even if you are talking about drug agency and NFM, what's the name of this agency? It is Mawa, the chairman of that narcotic department right now. So almost everybody that is in that department, that head the major department in that section, they are all Fulani Muslim as well.
There you go.
So there is no doubt that we are in Fulanization system right now.
And you guys keep telling me that we're not a conquered people.
Oh, okay, so you throw that to me now?
All right. Thank you, Baba Akure. Good to have you back. You've been away for a while. People have been asking. So good to see you. That's Baba Akure. He's back now.
So you want to? I will talk about the issue of this guy from Yaya Bello.
Yes, just briefly on that, and then I'll run through the remaining. So yeah, to Yaya Bello. Yeah.
So Yaya Bello is just is still a kid, like Hannes said. I'm not going to go with OVA, though he may be. We see him that he doesn't really care. He doesn't really care. So that is why I always say, because I use him as an example on this platform the other day, that these are the youth also that we believe that we are going to trust. That is why I don't trust anybody right now. When you're talking about politicians in Nigeria, I don't trust any of them. Either you are 25 years old or 30 years old. He himself, I don't trust him, and I don't care if he trusts me too. I don't care. So because it doesn't feed me, I don't feed him. So if he can be saying that okay, well, they shouldn't have said that they have to move the ticket to the south. So he counts himself now as a northerner. Meanwhile, he's in the Delta state here, just beside Kogi, just beside the Delta and Ondo state. So he's counting himself as northerner.
Well, according to the division, it's North Central, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, and Abuja. So those are the North Central states, also known as the Middle Belt. So that's where he falls.
That is just fake demarcation anyway. So we know north and south. That is the main thing. The issue of north, south, middle belt, and southwest, southeast. Where if that is acceptable, but the issue of north central, central east or whatever, northeast or northwest, whatever they have, that is just their own problem. That's just bullshit. It is very sad that we find ourselves in this position anyway. It is very sad.
All right. Thank you, Baba Gore. Good to have you back. So next, I'll go to Black League, Eagle, and then Brownberry. But I'll need quick comments from you just for reasons of time, because we're pushed for time. So to Black League first, I'll go. So Black League, good to have you back. You know what the talking points are. And the Kanu'S wife speaks to the husband's situation. Petroleum industry bill essentially gives Nigerian petroleum to Dangote. 44 new supplementary recruits to the Navy, all from the Core North, and Ohaneze in Digbo telling Yaya Bello to shut up. When a song, you are a schoolboy. So to all of that, and to you, Black League, good to see you again. Unmute yourself. Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you, one man.
Yeah.
Starting with Ohaneze and Yahaya Bello, that's governor of Kogi State. Well, I don't think the Ohaneze should be that dismissive of. Maybe because he's 45 and currently the youngest governor in Nigeria. But he does have a good shot at the presidency in 2023.
Well, we'll see. He's a schoolboy.
What do you mean he's a schoolboy?
He's a schoolboy. Is he not a schoolboy?
In terms of politics?
In every sense, in terms of more so his public utterances lends towards the conclusion that he's still a schoolboy. He talks like a schoolboy and acts like a schoolboy.
Well, I can let you know that in the school of politics, he's a graduate.
All right.
Because
I find out because he's Buhari's boy, Abi. Because
no,
he's
not because
Buhari's boy. It's Aisha's handbag and Buhari's boy.
Well, I say in the school of politics, the graduate, because Yaya Bello, few people know he was in the PDP.
Yes.
He lost the primaries to the man who died. I forgot his name. Somebody Audu in Kogi State. So he passed away. And then Yahya Bello had already concluded the process to join the PDP because he was aggrieved before he came back to the APC. And going by law, they should have given it to Honorable Faleke because he was on the ticket with Audu. He was the deputy while Audu was the governor. But APC pushed up Yahya Bello instead. And that is a graduate in politics.
Okay. Well, or is a political tool, is malleable.
You are talking of Abubakar Audu.
Okay.
Abubakar Audu. Right.
All right. Okay, so that's Yahya Bello. I'm with the Ohaneze, and I classify him as a schoolboy. So but these 44 recruits from Sokoto Central as naval cadets, I never even knew that he reigned in Sokoto. Never mind them having anything that lends itself to the Navy. So from Effiong to Mukhtar, this is the name that we'll be calling naval cadets now. Entire not blanket recruitment. What happens to national character, which is a statute in the Nigerian Constitution?
Well, once again, one man, I think I said this the last time. We as Nigerians have built a country. We're yet to build a nation. That's what's playing out. Because if we're developed, even mentally developed, who goes into the Navy, the Air Force, or the Army shouldn't be our concern as long as they're Nigerian.
It should be. No, you cannot say that, because if that was the case, then the recruitment would reflect Nigeria and not reflect a sect that is set its agenda to dominate. So if the army itself or the navy itself was of that thought that you just expressed, then that should reflect in their recruitment process and not just vest everything in the hands of the Fulanis, which is what we're seeing. The DSS did it a few months ago. The Navy are doing it now.
Well, one man, I've heard you said severally here that the Fulanis are in control. So is it that you're surprised or what's happening?
I'm not surprised, but I'm cautious. I'm apprehensive of what these are things forebode for the future, especially as a Yoruba man, because the Yoruba man does not lend itself to having anybody's jackboot on their neck. And we cannot have a jackboot on the neck of a Yoruba man. This is my concern. And this is what we have at the moment. Jackboot on Yoruba necks.
One man, we need to understand that we need to build a nation.
Right.
And if things happen
what
that don't go
what
your
color
way,
does that nation have? No. What color does that nation have? There are
whatever color we
250
decide,
ethnicity. There are 250 ethnicity in Nigeria. What color should the nation that you're talking about have? What is the coloration of it?
whatever color we decide to paint it, one man, we are the people. This is the 21st century. We've seen nations work with over 1 billion people. We're only 200 million and we're still confused. And the confusion is self-induced. It's self-induced
Do you not find
confusion.
it
That's what we're going through.
Hold on,
Because there's no
League,
way.
because you speak in all this high functioning stuff, all this egalitarian what's it. But do you not find it? Does it not bother you that there will be recruitment into the Navy all to the exclusivity of one region and one ethnic setting within this space? Does that not bother you? Are you not bothered by that?
Whether it bothers me or
No.
not,
Don't say whether. Are you bothered by it? Answer that first and then add your appendage. Does it bother you?
One man, I need to make a point first.
Oh.
Whether it bothers me or not is to no effect. I don't let myself get carried away by the emotions of emotions are devoid of logic. Emotions and logic do not go hand in hand. They're sworn enemy. So the logical way through is to respond, not to react. Now, if appointments go this way, who is in charge of appointing the chief of Navy in Nigeria? It's only one person. That's the sitting president. Nobody else can appoint him. And then the Senate is there to confirm him. But as we know, the Senate will do anything the executive branch says in Nigeria as we have it today. So, of course, whoever the president nominates will be a smooth scale. The current chief of Navy is from the north. And he could probably bring you out facts that there's been times in the north where there's been times in the country where there were chiefs of Navy from the south. And when I say chief of Navy, I mean the chief of naval staff. That's the official name. And there has been times when there was a chief of naval staff from the south that the enrollment in the Navy was overwhelmingly Southern. And there was no uproar about it. And he was in the system at that time. So if we really go at it on ethnic basis, ethnic nationality basis, every recruitment should be nothing less than 250 to 300. That means every ethnic group has to be represented in proportion probably of their population or however you want to do it, or each one bring one. Because if you have a grudge against the ethnic nationalities of people that are serving in your Navy, although you come from the same nationality, you have agreed. You have agreed because the world doesn't work on ethnic nationalities no more. It works on nationality.
Black League, hold that thought. Let me just bring you this quickly. This is it. The federal character principle, which has been enshrined in the Nigeria's constitution since 1979, seeks to ensure that appointments to public service institutions fairly reflect the linguistic, ethnic, religious, and geographical diversity of the country. So that is a constitutional matter that sits at the heart of the multiplicity of nationalities that we have in Nigeria, and it is stated there in law. So how is that reflected in this recruitment that the Navy is doing? What is the federal character in that?
One man. Would you agree that under under President Obasanjo's regime, the 8 years he did from 99 to 2007, most of the army is the center stay of the military. The army have shown themselves capable of taking over government. Very few armies have been able to do that in the world. So we need to really look at what's going on there. Obasanjo, a retired general, became president in 99. Most of his
You're not
chiefs
answering. You know, you don't answer any of my questions. You just go off this.
No, I need a build-up. I need a build-up. Okay, most of Obasanjo's appointments to the Chief of Army Staff office were Christians. No uproar about that. What I'm telling you is, yes, there's a federal character commission even in place in Nigeria as we speak. So I understand the principles of federal character.
Which sits at the heart of the Nigerian Constitution, which acknowledges the diversity and the multiplicity of ethnicity within the state. But apparently, no regard for that by Malam Buhari.
But there was a clause you were missing. Federal character when it comes to the appointments and the numbers. It clearly states there should be one representative per state in the Federal Executive Council. That's the time it mentions numbers. If you look at the current administration, there is one minister per state at the very minimum.
No, you conflate.
And that was
because no. That is a factual inexactitude. Because what they are doing is,
I'm not giving you secrets. These are public facts.
No. But you are embedded. You are playing verbal gymnastics with that statement.
One man. These are accessible. These are accessible public facts.
There's ministers and there's ministers of state, which are two different positions. So what they do is to carpet blanket the ministers with their Fulani tribesmen.
Wrong, one man, you are wrong. You are wrong. One man, you are wrong. First of all, how many ministers does Nigeria have?
This is not the time for all that rowdy behavior.
One man. A minister and a minister of state side by side at every federal executive council.
So how come the Yoruba man is not the minister then and the Fulani man the minister of state? Why is it always the other way around?
You are reacting, not responding.
No, I'm stating the facts as they are.
One man. How are those facts? I'm giving you the facts and I'm telling you that if you want to go by the Constitution, Buhari could sit with you and tell you he followed the Constitution.
Buhari has never followed the Constitution in his life. He just makes things up. Where
the Constitution made him your president. That's how he can tell you. One man.
But let me not, you know my views, so I mean, I don't shy away from it. But just for reasons of time, I wish you had come in the evening so that we can spend more time with you. Let's go quickly to the petroleum industry bill that now vests almost exclusivity of Nigeria's foremost earner in the hands of this Kanu man. So essentially gifting the petroleum industry to Aliko Dangote. This is what we're seeing.
Well, Dangote has been making those moves. He's probably 5 years in now, and he's been doing it publicly. He's publicly said he's building a refinery in Nigeria. and he's a businessman. That's business.
Just to highlight the clause that concerns me and should concern you. This petroleum industry bill is saying if there's a shortfall in petrol in Nigeria, the person with the largest local capacity will be vested with the opportunity to import that shortfall. The person with the largest local capacity, of course, Dangote. So essentially, if there's a shortfall in petroleum need in Nigeria, Dangote will be asked to fill that shortfall. How does that translate into dollars and cents? Dangote will almost exclusively control refinery in Nigeria just by the mass of its size. If the petrol is cheaper in international shores, he will create a shortfall, go and import that petroleum from international shores and sell it at his rate. So this is exactly it. So he gets the right to refine Nigerian petroleum, and then he gets the right to import petroleum into Nigeria. So essentially gifting the petroleum industry to this one man from Kano. This is what we're seeing. Does that concern you?
Of course, it concerns me. But what we do about it concerns me even more. And that's more important to me. Why I say that is we should be more concerned about reaching out to our representatives in the House of Representatives and the Senate. We all have them. You have them, I have them, everyone watching us has them. And the concern should be, why should there be a clause where Nigeria, the seventh largest petroleum deficits in the world, have to import oil? Why are we importing oil? There are some countries that don't make the list. They've never imported a drop of oil. And if they do, they have a right to, because they don't have it. We produce oil. We are part of OPEC. Why are we importing oil should be the concern. Because we're trying to build an economy here. We keep saying we're poor. Yes, as it is, Nigeria is a poor country. Why? Because the people are poor. And no man can rise above the conditions of his people. I don't care how much money he got. He will still be treated like a poor man. He just has to mingle around a little bit. You understand?
Oh, okay. Let me just tell you, Black League, I disagree with virtually everything you have said since the course of this interaction, and I'm minded to sweat you heavy, but my wife is giving me dark looks to come off the computer. So I'm just going to
One
push you.
man,
Yeah.
one man, sweat is a foreign word to me. I'm ready.
One man, that's sweet, man.
Yeah. You see? Because you are just making some statements that doesn't flow with my own funk. But
One
let me
man,
move.
one man.
Yeah.
But so far I haven't given you my personal views. All I've given you is facts.
No, you've not given me facts. You've given me your
No, one man,
subjective
you can
opinion.
verify it at your time,
No, you've
or I
given me
can
your
send some
subjective.
tea.
You've given me your subjective. They are making appointments that sit outside of what sits at the heart of the Nigerian Constitution, and you are saying whataboutism. You are doing whataboutism with Obasanjo. They are gifting, which is even a national security risk. They are vesting a good 30-35% of the economy in the hands of one man from Kano, and you are just saying it's just business as usual. So a lot of that I wanted
One
to
man,
take.
if you heard
Yeah.
what I said we should be contacting our members of House of
To
Representatives
do what? To
and
do
the
what?
senators.
We should be on the streets to shut the country down and put it to a halt. And press
One man, I
reset is
said
what we should do.
get their phone numbers, put a petition to them as a group, find
Were they not the
signatures.
ones
You
that gave
need
him? Were they not the ones that gave him the petroleum industry? Are they not there? Do they not know what I am saying? Am I saying anything that is foreign to them? They know all these things. Have they not collected their own dollars? I mean, you know how the system works as well as I do.
one man, if you keep interrupting me, you won't get to hear
Oh,
my
okay.
point.
Okay, go on.
Of course, they're the ones who created that clause you just read.
Hmm.
But you voted them in. If you didn't, your people did. Okay? If your people voted them in, they have a right to tell them exactly what to do. And they have a right to know how they voted in each and every clause of whatever is put out.
My brother,
They need to know their
you've been
stand.
living in America for too long. This is why somebody was saying that you are speaking an American language the last time. That is America. Nigeria is different.
One man, I need you to speak to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying right or wrong?
Well, in theory, yes. In practice, no. In theory, yes. In practice, no.
One man, the people have a right to calling back their representatives and their senators. There's a process for that. INEC has laid down due procedure. It's in the same constitution. I've read that constitution.
You know they've tried the recall in Nigeria before, and that just ended up as a joke. Was it?
They tried a recall. The most recent was with in the Kogi State, Dino Malaya.
Yeah, Dino. Yes.
Exactly. And what was that? That was your man Yahya Bello that tried to get him out and did not succeed at that time, but he succeeded at the later time. That was a political recall. That's elite versus elite. I'm talking about people versus elite. That's what I'm telling you.
So if elite versus elite cannot succeed, you're expecting the people to succeed.
One man, I understand the oppressors have really beaten the people so much that there's a defeatist mindset. But that's a process.
Realistic?
This was realism in other countries, but they had to turn around. It happened in China. It happened in some parts of the Arab world. Okay? It's happened in different countries where they're human beings just like me and you. It was realism. They turned it into practicalism. So it's the defeatist mindset that most of the Nigerians have. Most of them have that. That's why things keep getting worse. Is that defeatist mindset to say, oh, we cannot do it. We're just going to react, complain, and do nothing about it.
Black League, you will not be surprised to hear that I disagree, but for reasons of coming off the computer, let me push you to the east and speak to Nnamdi Kanu's situation. The wife comes out, speaks to the London Times. A British lawyer has been hired to put pressure on that space. What is your reading of that? Nnamdi Kanu's wife speaks to the space.
Well, she's his family, so she's doing everything she can to get him out of the situation he's in right now. But I think the British lawyer would try it in England, so I see the IPOB reaching out now, and you know, because I know they have a lawyer who is he calls himself Biafran. He is from the southeast. I could tell you that in Nigeria, also working for Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
So they're just doing everything they can to get him out. Like,
yes.
Aside from what's happening on the streets, the minor protests here and there, and what's going on online.
Well, it's major protest. 100,000 in Berlin, so it's major and it's
no. I'm
global.
talking about in the southeast as we speak. In Nigeria. I'm not talking about outside. I'm not talking about Europe.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
There hasn't been a major protest so far in Nigeria.
Yeah, no, they won't allow it. They will, Buhari now, his response to everything is AK-47. So, just this story now, I'm not sure if it's something that you follow. Nobody has commented on this yet, and I'm not sure if it's your space or not. Chidinma, OJUKWU, and USIFO, Ataga.
One man, please, before you go into that story, just on my point on knowing the importance of contacting your representative as a group, forming yourselves into groups that have a common goal. Trust me, it will be a large group because Nigerians seem to speak with one voice. If you hear what they're saying, essentially, Yes, on the surface, it might sound like 200 voices speaking, but when you
Letter
get to
writing,
the
Abi.
core,
You want us
when
to
you
be
go,
doing letter? You want us to be doing letter
one man, let
writing?
me get my point through. Let me get my point through.
Okay.
Nigerians have a defeatist mentality that think their representatives are above them. No, they employ those people. They are the true bosses. The representatives, and when I say representatives, I mean specifically the president, the senators, the House of Rep members, the governors, the State House of Rep members, the State House of Assembly members, the chairman of all the local governments, the councillors of the wards. Those are the people I'm talking about specifically.
Okay.
You can gather all those. You can gather all those
You're
people in
speaking
the
of
room. When people say government, they're not buildings. I'm talking about government is these people specifically.
Black League. Have you heard the phrase?
One man, let me get my
Hold
point
on.
through.
I think we get the thrust of your point.
I haven't said the point yet. The point is the mentality tells you those people are above you and you cannot even contact them. That's a website where all their phone numbers, especially for the senators and the House of Rep members.
What's the website?
There's a public website. I can't even think of it off the bat, but it is a real website. It's made by a Nigerian. It's right there. It's open to the public. All their phone numbers are listed on there. I didn't think it was real. When I say we have a defeatist mindset, Nigerians have a defeatist mindset, I'm a Nigerian. I'm included. I used to think just that way. I was like, okay, let me pick up the phone and call. My senator himself said hello. I asked, is this, because I know his voice. He said, yes. Who's this? It is possible, one man. That's my point. You could go on.
Okay. I was going to ask if you've heard the phrase horses for courses. Horses for courses. You don't put a farm horse on a thoroughbred race, and you don't put a thoroughbred race to do horse farm work. So horses for courses. What you're speaking to, it chimes very well in the civilized climate that you're in. But in Nigeria, a totally different politics.
So you're saying you're not civilized as a Nigerian? Is that the point you're making? That Nigerians are not civilized?
The Nigerian space is not civilized to that level.
Who controls the Nigerian space and who is included in that Nigerian space?
Well, the Nigerian space is controlled by the Abokis.
The Nigerian space is controlled by the elected officials. They do not number up to 5,000, including the civil service.
Right.
Okay. Nigerian population is 200 million. So when you're talking about the Nigerian space, what exactly are you talking about? A space where there's 200 million people? And you're telling me they're telling me they're uncivilized? Yes, if what the 5,000 doing are uncivilized, how about the 200 million?
You know what I will ask of you, Black League?
No, I'm asking you a direct question. Are you saying the 200 million are also uncivilized?
I'm happy to go into that space with you. And yes, the vast majority are, as both you and I know. The vast majority.
That's appalling.
No. Hold on. Are you of views to the contrary, that the vast majority of Nigerians are pedestrian in thought? Are you of views to the contrary?
One man.
No. Are you of views? No. Don't be shocked. Are you of views to the contrary, that a good 70 to 75% of Nigerians are pedestrian of thought? They're just basic level, just functional.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. One man.
Okay.
Let me tell you, that Nigerian space you keep referring to.
Yes.
Those people have the most sophisticated minds you could find in this world.
Yes, at the echelons they do.
I am not talking about the elite. I am not talking about the elite, one man. I'm telling you this.
In the main,
I'm
they don't.
I'm including those who do not know a word in English or even pidgin.
They are pedestrian of thought. This is why we find ourselves in this situation that we find ourselves.
One man, I understand history was not taught in school, but we should take it upon ourselves
look at that.
to understand history and also understand what's going on.
I won't take that comment, but you'll get away with it because I'm under pressure of time. But what I want you to do, Black League, because people seem to delight in you every time you turn up, if you can spare the time later on today, around about 10:30 thereabout, we'll have a longer session because then I have all of the time to myself. So if
One man, I can promise you that, and I urge you to please prepare to sweat me, as you said.
No, I will sweat you,
as
because,
I said,
because every single thing you said in this session, we're going to revisit. Your giving.
But remember.
Carte blanche.
But remember, I told you.
There's no single rail drop in Sokoto, and you're saying all the Navy should come from.
I told you.
You know.
Remember, I told you. Sweat is a foreign word to me. I do not understand it.
Okay.
And you have to promise me.
I will give you the dictionary definition of that word. Just later on today, so that not only will you know it, you will feel it. You will know the word, and then it will come out of your body in water form. I will sweat you hard.
I'm happy you're speaking like this, but you have to promise me one thing.
Yeah.
You have to. I always let you talk. When we want to have a dialogue, you speak, I let you talk. I speak, you let me talk. I don't agree with you. When you said the Nigerian people are uncivilized and all that, I don't agree, but I'm not going to interrupt you.
I said in the main.
One man, you're still doing what I'm asking. You're still doing it.
All right. All right.
So can you promise me that? Can you promise me that?
Well, I can't. I can promise you to try. I can promise to try. Yes. So I promise to try.
I will still get my point through. Trust me.
You will. At that, I can promise that you will get your point through. But I can promise to try not to interrupt. That I can do. But I thank you, Black League. Just a delight always in your company. So that's Black League. Baba Akure has been away for a while, so we give the last word now to Baba Akure, because you guys have missed hearing from him so much. Apologies to the people that have not been on screen, but I should have shut down about 20 minutes ago, but Baba Akure will shut us down now. Please come back later in the evening when we have more time. Baba Akure, to you.
Thank you very much. To start with, I think I jealous you. I wish somebody could be beside me and tell me to just shut the computer down. Anyway, I think God will save us from the greedy hands of these people, because to me, I don't really see any ways right now, unless if the so-called leaders or elite that we have in the southwest or southern Nigeria, if they can work together and deliver us from this situation, but if they don't, there is nothing. I don't really see anything that people really want to do, because even people at home, when you tell them something, it's just like they don't even care, because they just believe that every condition that they find themselves there, it is normal. They don't see the difference between normal life and the life they are living. However, when something is not going well, they will still tell you, oh well, things are very hard right now. But if you tell them something, they will say, oh no, we cannot do that. So, and I think it is something they already used to, so they don't really care. But it is we here that we really care about people back home and what is going on in the country. People over there, they don't care. And the issue of Dangote, I will still have to mention that. That is what is killing our economy, and that not started from today. It has been there for a very long time, and I don't also know what we can do to curb this thing, unless if we can restructure the country. Alternatively, if there is any way of parting way, I think that will be the best idea, because the country is not moving to the right direction. and we have been a laughing stock all over the country, all over the world. Everybody just looking at us. They will just look at these people. Though, as somebody mentioned on this platform, Nigeria is created to make as a business enterprise, and it is still continue today. But even we, the same black people that has the same country, it is not in Nigeria alone anyway. It's all over Africa. I was talking to one Indian man last week, and he said to me that it was the design of Western world to make Africa poor and to be in the same manner that they are right now. And as a matter of fact, he said something to me which I believe that could be true. He said, you know, the oil is moving to Africa now. So the world is, the Western world is trying to cut the economy because they know that if they depend on oil, then Nigeria economy is going to be boom. So then they have to cut off the usage of crude oil right now. That is why they are envisaging of having electric car by 2035 or something like that nature. When the man said to me, then I sat down and I reasoned, and I said this could be true. So he said, what is going on in Africa is not new. They all know what is going on there. It is Western world that is perpetrating what is going on. So, but are we really ready? Even we that we are going through all this. Are we going to say that our leaders don't aware of all this? They are aware. We see what they do to Patrick Lumumba. We see what they did to Thomas Sankara, who want to take Africa away from this mess. But what they did to them, they wiped them away because they don't want Africa to be great. Anyway, that is my last point here today.
All right. Thank you, Baba Akure. Good to see you again. Baba Akure, ladies and gentlemen, you've missed his voice, and there is again Baba Akure, a regular member of the team. As I said, apologies to the people that have not been able to voice their opinions. It's just I need to come off the computer, so I will do exactly that now. And here I say, peace.